by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Former Vice President Joe Biden is on the defensive after he's accused by a Nevada politician of inappropriate conduct. I'm Laura Podesta. Coming up, you'll hear from Lucy Flores about what Biden did that made her feel uncomfortable.
Last year, Bozeman came up with its first ever strategic plan. I'm Adair Spab, and coming up, I'll give you all the details about this year's.
Just ahead of 6:30 on this first Monday in April, Chet Lehman, Missy O'Malley with you. Matt has our forecast in a moment. Our top national story this half hour. As former Vice President Joe Biden prepares for a potential 2020 presidential bid, his well-known physically affectionate style is now being called into question.
The Nevada politician who says Biden made her feel uncomfortable at a campaign event is now speaking out to CBS News. Laura Podesta has our latest on this alleged incident.
The woman accusing former Vice President Joe Biden of acting inappropriately is now talking about the incident with CBS News. Lucy Flores, a Democrat and former Nevada Assemblywoman, describes on today's CBS This Morning what happened when Biden approached her as she prepared to give remarks at a 2014 rally.
He smelled my hair, and then he leaned in further and planted this slow kiss on the top of my head. And while all of this is happening, my brain is just kind of trying to process it. And I'm just thinking to myself, why is the Vice President of the United States of America touching me and kissing me and smelling me?
Flores first wrote about the incident in an article published on TheCut.com Friday, saying it made her feel uneasy, gross, and confused. It's a well-known facet of Biden's persona to openly show affection in public to both men and women. In a statement Sunday, Biden said, "In my many years on the campaign trail and in public life, I have offered countless handshakes, hugs, expressions of affection, support, and comfort. And not once, never, did I believe I acted inappropriately." Laura Podesta, CBS News.
Oh boy. Now we will be following this story a little bit more. And to follow this up, in 2016, Flores worked as a surrogate for Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who has already jumped into the Democratic presidential race. Flores, though, says she's not endorsed any presidential candidate this time around, including Sanders. She insists that the incident in question should be looked into regardless of who she backs.
6:31 now. Meteorologist Matt Elwell joins us. It looks like spring has finally set in to be here. Beautiful sunshine, cooler temperatures at night, off and on chances.
We finally got a commitment from spring, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Temperatures this morning into the 20s and low 30s this morning. We're still dealing with a little bit of melting, but our temperatures are a little cooler, as Chet had mentioned. We've had a few isolated showers in and around the area. It looks like our planner calling for milder temperatures for the afternoon. Still a few isolated chances of moisture, at least in the region. We'll talk about the chance of seeing more rain or snow as we head toward the weekend. That's, of course, coming up in just a few minutes.
Thank you for that, Matt. It is now 6:32. Scary story, but with a decent ending here.
Yeah.
Mechanical issues on a chairlift at Showdown resulted in skiers from being evacuated from one of the lifts on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, maintenance teams responded immediately to repair the triple chair known as the payload. According to a statement from Showdown, because of an uncertain duration of repairs, crews decided to initiate a rope evacuation. There were 133 people on the lift at the time of the stop. 87 of those were evacuated within 70 minutes. No guests were injured during the stop. The triple chairlift ran without incident for the remainder of the day.
Now that's some teamwork right there. Nice job, Showdown. Now firefighters quickly put out a grass fire just west of Billings on Sunday afternoon. It happened near Homestead Park Drive, south of Grand Avenue. A controlled burn went out of control, causing that blaze. Firefighters from Billings and Molt responded. Billings Battalion Chief Ed Regal says that the fire came close to 3 buildings which were not burned. Molt Fire Chief Dwayne Berkey says that the person tending that controlled burn did not have a burn permit. He says it's very important to get those burn permits when the fire is not contained in a barrel.
Ugly news here. Community members in Libby say they are frustrated and saddened by a crime committed Saturday night. Check this video out. The Libby Loggers concession stand at the Legion Ball Field was broken into and vandalized. The damage, the group says, stand suffered thousands of dollars worth of damage. Paint sprayed all over the walls. Machines were damaged beyond repair. It appears as if the culprit attempted to light a pile of T-shirts on fire. $500 reward is being offered to anyone with information that leads to conviction of those responsible for this vandalism.
That's despicable. Now, the bill to continue Montana's Medicaid expansion program passed the Montana House on Saturday morning. The House gave its final approval for the bill on 61 to 37 vote. House Bill 658 would continue the Medicaid expansion program, which provides government-funded health coverage to 96,000 low-income adults in the state. Now, all 42 House Democrats voted for the measure, along with 19 Republicans. In addition to continuing the program past June 30th for that expiration date, the bill creates additional requirements for the program, such as 80 hours a month of work or community engagement for some participants. The coverage is available to adults earning up to 138% of the federal poverty level, or about $17,200 for a single person's annual income. The $700 million a year program has been in effect since 2016. It's 90% funded by the federal government.
Well, for the third time, a 19-year-old woman is making an 80-mile journey on foot to raise awareness for the missing and murdered Indigenous women's movement. Marita Growing Thunder is walking around the Flathead Indian Reservation, and I do mean around the reservation, this year in honor of Jermaine Charlo, who went missing almost a year ago in Missoula. She is one of thousands of young Native women to go missing throughout the United States within the last year alone, sparking widespread outrage around the issue of investigation and prosecution of these cases. Of the 72 missing persons cases in Montana, 22 of them are Native Americans.
We wish Marlita the best.
Absolutely.
That's incredible. Bright young woman there. And tonight, Bozeman City's commission will revisit its strategic plan, a plan that the city employees use to determine which projects and issues get top priority.
MTN's Medeiros Babb tells us what is already on the list and the possible additions that could take place.
According to the city of Bozeman, its employees spend 70% of their time on routine work, 20% on the strategic plan, and 10% on unexpected tasks. City manager Andrea Surratt says this is why it is so crucial to have a strategic plan.
We have a finite amount of resources and time and staffing, and so we have to just say these are our most important things and do those first.
The commission has already decided 5 priorities for the next couple of years. The list includes community outreach, affordable housing, land use initiatives, annexation, and parks and trails. But there still are some empty slots up for grabs.
The discussion Monday night is to prioritize any of those additional projects into our work plan for the year.
Library expansion, a gender pay project, and using project costs to go towards public art are just some of the 14 additional subjects that have been proposed, but not all can make the list.
The list is fun and long, and we're just trying to get a handle on exactly which ones the commissioners want us to focus on.
Choosing this list is critical because, again, city employees will be using the strategic plan to decide what to focus their time on. Reporting from Bozeman, Medeiros Babb, MTN News.
Now, of course, we will be at that meeting tonight to update you with the full list of those priorities.
And as Montana Highway Patrol Trooper Wade Palmer is recovering from gunshot wounds at a Salt Lake City hospital, family, friends, and many others are continuing to rally support back here in the state.
Saturday, the Evero Bar and Casino hosted a live auction, raffle, and spaghetti dinner to benefit the family. Trooper Palmer was shot in the bar parking lot, still seat belted in his vehicle. Friends, strangers, and community members are having drinks and leaving donations to support the injured trooper. Bar employee Rachel Sween was up half the night last night, or a Friday night, cooking spaghetti for the 300 people. She says the incident was scary being so close to home, but she's glad to do what she can to help.
I'm very honored to meet the people and see all the compassion on the people, and for people to come together and turn something really ugly into something beautiful.
Yes, it is. By the way, Evero community members say they want to thank the community for coming together during this time.
It's a tough time, and we are tracking his progress.
Absolutely true.
Certainly. Now, this week, Under the Big Sky, our full-length stories with Duckworth Wool, Kochel Guitars, and Paralympian Megan Fisher are now available to watch online.
These stories now available at underthebigsky.com take viewers to Dillon, Montana, where the Helly family have been raising sheep for 5 generations, are producing the only source-verified merino wool in the United States. Then to a small workshop outside Missoula in the small town of Potomac, where Sean Kochel creates guitars from reclaimed lumber, elk bones, spent shotgun shells. And then finally, Under the Big Sky features Megan Fisher, a gold medal winning Paralympian who has overcome many obstacles to achieve success on and off the trail, all while encouraging those around her to push past their own limits. You can watch an encore presentation Sunday, April 6th and 7th, 10:35 p.m., following our local newscasts.
Fantastic
Great
stories
segments all the way
across
around.
the board.
Absolutely
Yep,
true.
I love
You
that.
will
I love
love
how
them.
different they are as well.
Yep.
We must take a quick break, but here's a look